viewership has been declining, and I'm not really doing anything about it. I'm just kind of continuing to do what I've been doing, and that's sort of hindering me because what I do gets old. I know that I'm doing everything wrong. It's hard to will myself to do it better. And it's very possible that it will get even worse by the time the new season comes out, but it could also get better. I know it'll be different. I think one of the conventions I want to keep when I start the new season is that I want to record cross-legged. So if I have some sort of chair set up, I need a really big chair so that I can cross my legs when I do it, because I almost always record cross-legged because I record on my bed, and if I'm sitting on my bed, I'm sitting cross-legged. I'm gonna try. I'm gonna do something dumb. Oh, yeah, there it is. Oh man, something a friend of mine used to do all the time that I sort of figured out how to do. I don't do it often because it's not used to it and it's really weird. But it's cross-legged, but backwards, or like reverse, where my feet are on top of my legs. Just imagine sitting cross-legged, crisscross applesauce, but bring your feet over your legs. And if you can't do it, you just probably can't do it, and it is kind of difficult. But yeah, a friend of mine did that all the time. This particular friend actually has been on the show. I forget about this often. He hasn't been on this show, but he's been on the channel. He's been on. I had him over to make YouTube videos with the Elgato, record some Wii U gameplay of various things, and we succeeded. I don't do that anymore because somewhere along the line, for some reason, just the videos just didn't work. I was testing it out with Ben because we were gonna do something there, and I just couldn't get it to work, and I almost essentially just gave up. But I mean, really, that laptop is not well equipped to handle that at all. I mean, it wasn't from the start, even when I was still doing fucking Wind Waker and the like. It's really just Wind Waker I was doing. Oh, I did Wind Waker, and I did Game Party Champions. Game Party Champions, that fucking game. Yeah, I did those, and just Wind Waker, just like, if I made the episode or the video too long, it would fuck up a lot. And it just like got to the point for some reason when I was trying to record with Ben, and it just kept fucking up a whole bunch. And I mean, if I wanted it to record, I would probably have to record in really low quality, and I just don't want to do that. I mean, even right now, these videos are low quality, but it's just like, it upsets me, but I kind of have to do it until I get the computer thing in like 3 weeks or so. And then after that, I'm gonna have my brother's computer, and by the time the next season starts, which could be a month from now, could be 2 months, could be even more. As I've said, this is ending in 28 days or so, and then the hope is to be able, like to set things up and still be able to start a new season with kind of what I'm thinking of wanting to do within a week. Just a week of break and then restart it, just so that it works out the same way that it did last year when first season, 300 episodes, week-long break, new season. This one, 300 episodes again. Next season, again, 300 episodes. Still daily, still 300 episodes. Probably still the same basic duration, but almost definitely not VC. Which also means that I'll be changing a lot of my branding, because right now my profile picture is Succubus, Queen Succubus, and the channel banner thing is just like it says, it's the Valkyrie Crusade sky thing from the very beginning of the game, from the start menu button thing when you open the app. And you know, if I'm not playing VC anymore, I don't want to keep those things around. So what I'm probably going to do for the main picture is just use the face that I use on the Dilla Games thing, because not only is that a thing that I've made myself, so it's unique, it's also a thing that I just really like. I think it's goofy, I think it's fun, I think it's unique because I made it myself, and it has a bit of a story that I can tell. It's not an interesting story, but it has a story to it, in where I wanted a profile picture, so I sat down and I slapped one together and purposefully made it really weird looking, to where the image purposefully cuts off at the bottom, as well as is very pixelated, because I just did that. You know, I needed a profile picture for Osu, and I had a drawing tablet with me because I was going to use it for Osu. It's not the reason I bought it. I honestly can't remember why I bought it. I think I was fucking around a lot with computer editing or digital editing for various things. I think it was pony shit. Yeah, it was MLP shit. I had a lot of fun editing various pony shit, like making OCs and whatever. Yeah, I did that for a time. And I was just like, this is cool, and I wanted to try it with a drawing tablet, so I bought one for crazy cheap, like $40, and I had it. So I've had that for a while, and I was gonna get Osu, and I still had the thing, so I just had it out, and I was like, making an Osu account, and I was like, gotta have a profile picture, and I was just like, I'll just draw one. And I just slapped together a smiley face, and I gave him big bushy eyebrows because I thought it'd be fun. And then I was like, let's throw this in MS Paint, shrink it down way, bring it up large. That way it gets it like crazy pixelated, and then square it off, and just the way that I had it, just squaring it off perfectly, cut it off at the bottom, just to make it an ugly, beautiful mess that I love, that I think is great. So I think that's going to be what that is. And I'll have to come up with something new for Dilla Games. And the banner, I have given Chugs full free reign to do absolutely whatever he wants with it. I mean, he doesn't have any control over the channel, but whatever he sends to me that he says he wants to be the banner, I will make the banner within reason, as long as it's not something absolutely crazy. Well, I want it to be absolutely crazy, I just don't want it to be like really offensive. As long as it's not really offensive, then I'll put it on. Even if it like has nothing to do with anything that I stand by, I would absolutely love it. Still, because Chugs made it for me. So he has an entire month to get that done. So he'll probably make something good, hopefully. I'm not gonna also tell him to do the other ones, because those matter less. the Zeke Reads one. Oh, by the way, so I mentioned viewership has gone down on Zeke Reads. Viewership for Kumo is good. It's almost as good as VC right now, even though that channel's existed for like a week. Viewership for Kumo is like 15 to 20. Viewership for Shield is 1 or 0. Oh man, you notice how the first list went from 15 to 20, which is a lower to a higher, and then the second one went from a higher to a lower, because I wanted to trick up your mind. Your mind was like, oh, 1 to 3, 1 to 2, no, 1 to 0. There are like half of them that have no views yet, because none of the Shield audience went over there. For some reason, I had assumed that a lot of the Kumo audience would be the Shield audience as well. I must have been horribly wrong, because I made a video that Kumo was back, and Kumo's audience found it. but I never made a video titled Shield is back. And I guess Shield's audience didn't see that Kumo was back and didn't realize that also Shield would be back, or they're not paying attention. That series in general didn't get as many views, but I hope if I just keep pumping them out and that channel gets enough attention that it'll just be found. I don't care as much. I mean, I don't really care for the views anyway. It's nice that somebody's watching them, and I still really like doing those series. And I might even just bring in a brand new one. I'm thinking of bringing in a new one. That's a thing I can talk about still. Was I talking about other shit? So yeah, Zeke reads the profile picture for that. What I wanted to do was just I looked up book clip art, and I found one that I kind of liked that was just an open book, just kind of cartoon sort of thing, and I was just like, perfect. And then I got the Kumo Spider Girl thing from something. I think it's official art. It might just be like really common art or popular art or something. I think it was the one that's used on the website that I use. It's not the. I could have taken the first or the cover of the first novel and just cropped out the spider, because the new thumbnail is the cover of the first novel, pretty much. It's actually. What I did was I found the cover of the first novel, and it was it was covered in text and shit, and it was novel size. There's a lot more to it than what I did, but I found a version of it without the text and sort of tried to remake the text almost, and I cropped it so it's not it's not exactly mapped out, but I sort of have it angled so that it follows the basic path of the original Japanese text, with a font that I found to be similar enough, and the styling, it's funny, I've always really liked the style of the white text with the black thick sort of outline, for a lot of things. That's kind of been what it's been, and that's also the same now for Kumo, because that's how it actually was on the first volume. So I was just like, yeah, okay, sure. And I know how to do it, and I like doing it. So I did that. I added the border, the black border. Sort of tilted it, stylized it a little bit so that it would be kind of follow the same flow as the original text. And I like it. It turned out really good. It turned out a lot better than the Shield thumbnail, which I'm comfortable with. The Shield thumbnail is interesting because it's just all the people. It's just all the people, but there's also text in the upper left, I think it is. And again, it's white text, black border, but it's really small text because there's like barely in a room with all the people there. So I mean, it's there, but it probably could have been done better, but it works. In general, I care a lot less about Shield. Not only because it gets me less views, but because I like the story just a hair less. So I'm more likely to allow mistakes and interruptions when recording Shield. I care a little bit less if I accidentally don't upload an episode. Or just little things like that. I'm just like, sure, whatever. Kumo is the one that I love. Shield is also there, and I like it. And there are people that like it, and yeah. But it is very possible and potentially kind of easy for me to add on a new series, honestly. And I just might, because what I've been really into recently is what's it called? Wizard with the Flower Blades, I think it is. Well, the whole story is, I found it through a novel that I've talked about in the past called I Reincarnated as a Vending Machine. And I absolutely love this novel. I just saw it once in like a joke picture, and I was just like, this sounds like a lot of fun. I checked it out, I started reading it, and I was like, this is a lot of fun. And then the people I was reading it from, first they dropped it, and then a new translator picked it up. I went to this new translator, and I was like, this new translator is great. And I like caught up with it, and then after I because there's only 40 chapters out now, so I read the most recent one, and I was just like, what else has this person translated? And there are like 6 things on their website, and 2 of them are translations, and the rest of them are like original stories. And I'm like, wait, what? No, I think, yeah, I've looked into it before, but I didn't read any of them. And I think I was just sort of in the mood to read still, but out of chapters of Vending Machine, so I was just like, we'll check out some of their original work, see what the hell it's like. And I started reading Wizard with the Flower Blades, and I absolutely love it. I love it so much. It's one of those, oh my god, it's hilarious, because I don't know why I love these reincarnation stories, but I do. And I love the meta reincarnation stories where they know they're in a reincarnation story, because there are so many reincarnation stories that now they write, well, they don't physically know, they just talk about it like they know, like they're narrated in such a way that it's like they say shit like, if this were a light novel, then yada 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 would happen, but it's not, because even though it is a light novel, it's just, I don't know why, I really like that thing. So I'm reading it, and it's great. It's about this guy. He's like the jack of all trades or whatever. At his school, he's called the super helper. That's kind of a general term in Japan or whatever. It's really interesting, because this is an English novel written by a person who mostly speaks English. I think. Maybe not. I think I just assumed this. I looked at like how they translate is a lot of just Google Translate and like researching things and things like that, translating into other. I think they know basic Japanese, and they supplement a lot with other shit. But this is a story written in English by, I'm pretty damn sure, an mostly English speaking person, about a Japanese person who barely knows English, living in Japan. Like, it's so weird, because it's written like a Japanese novel, but it's not written by a Japanese novelist, just a person who reads and translates a lot of Japanese novels. And it works. Some of that is assumed. I'm not absolutely certain that this person isn't Japanese, but the only thing I'm certain about is that I don't know who they are. Like, in their about page, it says, like, at the very bottom that the author is the author, and the author does not wish to mention any sort of gender, because not of any like weird like I identify as this kind of thing, but more like they don't want the reader to think any differently of them because they know their gender, which I think is actually really cool. But it is also interesting, because the first novel, and the one that I'm reading now, Wizard with Flower Blades, is about this guy who enters, his friend sort of forces him into this what do they call it? Virtual reality MMO thing, and they have to go to this store to make their character, and like they're there together, and they're making the character, and then just boom, this white light happens, and then he appears in another world, with a character that, or as a girl, because when he was making the character, it kind of rushed it, and they joked before about how he kind of looked like a girl, and they did this like body scan thing, and I think just like one of the workers thought he was a girl and just put that in or something, and like he has long hair, so it's just like he had a female character model, and then that character model and whatever just got teleported to an actual fantasy world, because actual fantasy world, whatever, and the character is just accidentally ridiculously good at magic. The way magic works is like it's directly tied to your life force, and one of the first things they do is accidentally kill themselves by trying to fight, because they were just randomly gifted with a really natural affinity to the magic, where they think about doing shit, and she thinks about doing something and she does it. She now thinks of herself as a she because she's just a she now. Which is one of the weird things about the author talking about their gender, because it's then you're thinking like, oh, this is a dude who thinks he knows what it's like to become a girl, or it's a girl who thinks she knows what it's like to be a man in a woman's shoes, and it's like, well, we know it's not. We don't know which one, so we can't think either. So yeah, they start doing shit, and they save this caravan of people from these bandits or whatever, and she learns that she almost ran out of mana from fighting because she did some like ridiculously powerful movements, like not like fireballs or shit like you'd think. She used augment body, which is like a magic that it massively increases your physical ability, because that's what she wanted to do at the time, was to fight. So like adrenaline kicked in and magic kicked in and said, okay, body, kick their asses. And so much magic poured into that, she almost killed herself. So now she has to learn how to use magic and how to survive in this new town with these fun new people. And there's a lot of other shit that happens, and I'm at like chapter 30 something or whatever, and I really like it. And I'm not gonna read that one for videos, but I might choose a different one, because the way I do the videos as like blind, one of the charms of the reading series is that it's all completely blind. So, sometimes I make mistakes, and I don't entirely know what a character should sound like, so that's why a lot of the time they don't have different voices. I try to put like a slightly different like pitch or an inflection or a little things they here and there, but I don't have a general sense of what they should sound like, because I don't know what they look like, and from the beginning I don't know everything about their character, so they don't have a lot of voices. But it is still all completely blind for the most part. Every chapter is the first time I'm reading it. Sometimes if I get interrupted, I have to reread a chapter, which is annoying, but I most of the time I still end up making mistakes, but I like to do them blind. So if I do something, I'm starting it blind, and I'm probably just gonna choose like one of the other ones. I feel like there's two original novels that they've written. Clin? I don't know how to say the name. It's like Clin H or something, it's like KLINH. They also write comics too, which I want to get into. and it's cool. Their art style isn't fantastic, but it's cool. It reminds me a lot of KJ Tower, and I really like KJ Tower. And nobody knows who KJ Tower is, but I do really like KJ Tower. But yeah, I don't want this episode to go very long. I feel like it's 25 minutes or so, probably longer. But I don't want it to go very long, so I'm going to and end it and read some more Wizard with the Flower Blades, or Wizard of the Flower. She also really likes smithing because her grandfather was really into it, and now she's just using magic to just cheat and be really good at smithing, almost accidentally. Because she was so obsessed with it that she sort of understands what she should be doing and can use magic to supplement and do everything exactly as she's supposed to be doing it, and also just use magic to make everything really good. So she's just a master swordsmith, just automatically. I tried to snap there. I can't snap very well with my left hand. I should work on that. But yeah. Also, everything else is going good with me. So cool. Take care of yourself.